Excessive wealth is a big problem. It bends and distorts the whole economy. When too much wealth builds up at the top, it doesn't just quietly sit in savings accounts. It goes hunting for assets, housing, land, stocks, art, football clubs. And when the wealthy start buying, prices rise. The majority of people ending up being shut out of the market. People without wealth simply cannot afford to enter. Nowhere is this more apparent than in the housing market. Homes should be places to live, to build families, to feel secure. But for the wealthy, property is an investment, a store of value, something to speculate on, and that pushes ordinary families into insecurity. Young people are priced out of ownership, renters see more and more of their income drained away, and housing ceases to be the meeting of a basic need, shelter. It becomes a commodity. This isn't just about housing. When wealth becomes concentrated amongst the few, it rarely flows into productive activity, into businesses, jobs, infrastructure. Instead, it floods into speculation, property portfolios, luxury assets, financial plans and tax schemes. The result? Bubbles, fragility, an economy increasingly detached from real human needs. This is where the concept of the rentier comes in. A rentier is someone who extracts wealth simply by owning land, housing, financial assets, patents. They don't produce, they collect. Keynes was deeply critical of the rentier, recognizing that a healthy economy cannot be built on unearned income. But today, rentiers are everywhere. In fact, we've built an economy that rewards them more than anyone else. The rentier class thrives when assets inflate and everyone else pays for it. And yet policymakers double down on the problem. Central banks have relied on boosting asset prices to stimulate spending, the so-called wealth effect. The idea is that when the rich feel richer, they'll consume more, and that will lift the economy. But the wealthy can only eat so many meals, drive so many cars, take so many holidays. The benefits do not trickle down. What trickles down is insecurity, while inequality soars. And here's the irony. Even for the wealthy themselves, all this money does not guarantee happiness. Study after study shows that beyond a certain level of comfort, more money doesn't make you more content. Instead, it often brings anxiety, isolation, and the pressure to guard what you've got. True wealth is not found in hoarding assets or speculating on markets. It comes from something else entirely, from love, from community, from creativity, from purpose, the things that money cannot buy. And of course, wealth doesn't just distort lives, it distorts politics. When fortunes are at stake, the wealthy lobby, donate, capture policy. They defend their unearned gains, and inequality becomes self-reinforcing. Excessive wealth produces not just economic power, but political power, and that corrodes democracy itself. Look at someone like Elon Musk. Through his ownership of X and his billionaire platform, he's publicly attacked political leaders, amplified incendiary rhetoric, and even flirted with huge donations to Reform UK. It's not the sign of a healthy democracy when one billionaire can sway the political agenda of an entire country. There's another dimension we rarely talk about, the human and the spiritual. Excessive wealth isn't just an economic distortion, it's a human one. It turns homes into speculation, education into privilege, even art into a financial instrument. It makes life a competition for access to what should be common goods. Wealth hoarded is wealth dead. It doesn't circulate, it doesn't nourish. Meanwhile, scarcity and anxiety spread across society, even amongst the wealthy. True wealth is found in community, in creativity, in relationships, in well-being. A society that allows wealth to pool endlessly at the top may look rich on paper, but it's likely to be spiritually poor. Excessive wealth is not just unfair. It damages markets. hollows out communities and corrodes democracy. The problem isn't simply inequality of income. It's the way wealth, when allowed to pile up in too few hands, distorts the entire economy and starves of a society of true life. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. I'd be really grateful for that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.